Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a fun thing about having Bourbon County in these small little bottles. You can actually revisit the beer. Um, sorry, the football game's on. I'm getting destroyed in the fantasy finals. So probably a good idea to crack one of these beers. But I mean, obviously, you guys know about what I thought. Or I'll post. Yeah, I thought this vintage was absolutely terrible. But that's a good thing about having 4 different bottles that you can actually like revisit it. And granted, I don't plan on like having one every week. That's stupid. But when I give it another shot after about, it's been almost, no, it's not been a month. Well, when I posted, it'd probably be a month, but it's been a few weeks. So the aging hasn't really affected anything. It's really, where's my palate at, right? Granted, I do think I have a good opinion because I did have the double barrel, right? And that was like vastly different and had different opinions about that beer. Granted, that beer is not regular Bourbon County. And, you know, the quality of that beer is just going to be different. But let's revisit this guy. And I will say, my palate's pretty acclimated to Bourbon County, right? Remember, one of my friends, he dropped off a gajillion vintage bottles of, like, Bourbon County and Hunapoo and Zhukov, and reviewed a bunch of those for you guys. And those old Bourbon Counties were absolutely delicious. I absolutely love those guys. So, yeah. Beer pours out the same, right? Like, and I will say, I think I might have had it a little bit chilled last time. This time it's not that chilled. I mean, it's obviously chilled. You can see a little bit of frosting in the glass, but yeah, it's not that cold. I think room temperature freezer for 10, 15 minutes, right? Just get a little bit chilled. And this is a pretty thick bottle too. But granted, not a lot of volume, so there's that. Yeah, looks awesome. Looks awesome. That's Bourbon County, right? Smells like Bourbon County. Okay, so maybe the first initial impression was that first sniff was a little bit too cold, but that sounds pretty good. See, now I'm sort of getting what like I usually expect out of Bourbon County. Bourbon, dark fruit. The dark fruit one's a big one for me. It's always that beautiful component of like it sometimes has a little bit of this kind of like lightly vinous character. Yeah, like almost like a little bit like port. But then like, yeah, big chocolate, the berries. I always love the berry character in this beer. I always get like darker kind of characteristics. So like raisin figs, plums, blackberries, like compote, that kind of thing. Some chocolate in there. But really the intensity of the bourbon integrated into it. It's got a little bit of heat on the nose too, yeah. Caramel, creme brulee, that kind of caramelly character. A charred Maillard thing. A little bit of like whiff of like tobacco and char too in there too. Maybe a little bit of molasses and also a little bit of like lightly kind of like oxidative character, right? Just a hint of this little bit of like meaty soy saucy thing in the back. Just maybe. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Cheers. See, I'm sensing. I'm still sensing what I was. Warmed up a little bit. It's a little bit warmer than I reviewed the first time, but I'm still sensing what I got the initial impression of this beer. It's a spicy one, and not in a good like kind of like rye spice way. It's hot. It's a hot boy. Ooh. I mean, it is 14.8. I forget the again, you could. I probably should look up the vintage. My memory's pretty good. This is on the higher end. Last time. I mean, I think like last time I remember it being this high was like maybe 2012, 2013. You guys can correct me. I probably should research this earlier, but it doesn't really matter what's the difference in ABV, like 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Like, right? Like, I don't think it's that massive, but it really matters what's on the palate. It's just thinner and hotter. Yeah, it honestly tastes. It smells like Bourbon County, but if I didn't pay attention and just gave me this blind, I honestly would have guessed that, like, wow, somebody did a really good job at trying to recreate Bourbon County without really quite getting there. If I had to like give you a good analogy, this to me tastes like Bourbon County out of the barrel. What the average? Anyway, I think the website says like average age of their blend is like 12 to 14 months or something like that. I forget whatever the number is. I would have guessed it's like, oh yeah, you pulled Bourbon County out, 8 months in, 9 months in, right? Just not all the way there. And there's a reason why they wait that long. Well, first off, obviously they release it once a year. So I guess like, it sort of makes sense. Like, well, if you're going to release it every Black Friday, then like, why not just wait the year, right? But let's say that wasn't the case and they think that like, whatever, I know Bourbon County tastes like Bourbon County at whatever, the previous vintages, 12 to 14 months. I would have guessed this was like 8 to 9 months, if I had to guess, right? Like if you had to like give me a reason, like, well, what does it taste like then if it's not quote unquote Bourbon County? So up front, chocolate bourbon, but then the bourbon just like rips into the middle of the tongue, and then it gets dry and woody. So it's a lot more wood tannin to it. And then the usual thing that I notice about this beer is that it's smooth and mouth coating and sweet. Yeah, I mean physically the gravity of the beer is probably the same. Yeah, I mean like the lip test, whatever, like the amount of sugar on my lips, but it just doesn't like envelop the palate. And then the other thing is like I also just notice the carbonation more too, right? As it's ripping through the palate, there's not as much stickiness left on my tongue, so then like I notice carbonation more, huh? And then, so as it's noticeably less sweet and more bourbon forward, I get more of the like char characteristics, the wood tannins, the tobacco, cigar, a little bit of smoke. Well, not quite smoke, but like the charred characteristics of the barrel. And then you get more like espresso, more bitterness, and less of that kind of like note that I generally want, which is like what I was smelling, those dark fruit, berry, sweet kind of dark fruit characteristics, and also the general like just desserty characteristics of Bourbon County, which I was going to associate with like Black Forest cake and brownies and chocolate chips and those ice cream cake crunchies. Right? Basically, like whatever those things are, this basically like Oreo cookies without the filling, right? Right? That black chocolate crunchy cookie stuff. And as it warms up, it just gets hotter. It gets hotter and hotter. Like, another guess was like somebody tried to create Bourbon County, but like shot the gravity and made a beer that's like 16-17%, which is crazy because the double barrel is actually like 17%, but tastes way smoother than this. Okay, so yeah, my initial impressions are pretty much confirmed. This is just hot vintage. I'm not going to review one for you guys for a little minute because there's just no point. It's a hot boy. Again, post in the comments below if you have different. I don't read this as something so. You guys post in the comments below. Again, I should do more research. But Firma said the old bottle that they did a few years ago in that similar 12-ounce bottle, similar size but a 12-ounce 4-pack with the old white and black label. Firma said they had like written on the label was like HI or BT, whatever, or HH or they based on the specific 4-pack that you bought, you would have gotten Heaven Hill or Buffalo Trace or. Maybe Elijah Craig. I forget. There's a blend of barrels that they source from, and based on what you got, you would have gotten like a certain barrel treatment, and some are better than others. This one just says GI 1229. GI just means Goose Island. Like it doesn't. I can't imagine that's GI. Yeah. Is this from a specific batch of barrels? Like, does that mean anything? Like, I don't read it as such because it has a bottled date, ABV, and then it says GI 1229. Like, does that mean anything? Does that mean anything that is there variation 4-packs? I wish there are, because now I smell it more. It just gets, it's not as delicious as it smelled initially. Granted, my palate's now acclimated to what I'm tasting. I mean, who are we to complain, right? It's like, excuse me, like my lobster is too juicy, right? Like my steak is too succulent, my butter is too fatty, right? Like it's just like it's obviously delicious. It's so good, but my opinion continues. I forget what I gave the first initial impression of this beer. I still probably go somewhere around 98 or something. It's just not a perfect beer, not my favorite beer of all time. It just doesn't exactly match. It has a lot of characteristics and bells and whistles that beer that Bourbon County does have, but this is just not a fantastic vintage. Yeah, so wait on it. If you have any, have this. Try a bottle. If you disagree, then please drink it. Tell me what you think. Post in the comments below. But if you agree, bro, sit on it. Don't crack your second bottle. Wait some more time. I was being impatient. And you know what? I also want to do confirmation, or I don't know confirmation, but I wanted to reinvestigate it for you guys, right? Like, as confident as I am with my palate, like it's so fickle to just go like, oh, well, the one bottle. This is my opinion on the vintage. Now it's 2. And now my opinion is a lot stronger. So if you have any and you don't think it's that good, don't do what I did. Don't crack the second bottle. Wait 6 months to a year probably. That's what I'm going to do. Cheers. I got 2 more bottles. I'll probably buy more. Maybe I should, because the 4-packs are a great deal. You get to enjoy Bourbon County multiple times instead of having cracking a big bottle and having it once and just, right? Like, I'd rather, I'm again, despite it being not that great, I'm very happy that I got to try Bourbon County on 2 different nights versus just buying 1 bottle and then I just would have moved on for the rest of the year. Now I have like more experiences at having Bourbon County again, even if it's not my favorite vintage. That's enough talking. That's a lot of talking about Bourbon County. Until next time, cheers later.